Good morning. Question. Can a teddy bear save a credit card? What? Back in 30 seconds. Good morning. Hi, this is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. And yes, teddy bears can save credit cards. What am I talking about on a lazier Monday morning? How's everybody doing today? I got to have my first sip. If things look slightly different, that's because you're on my tablet today, and I'm taking a little bit of a plunge, and we're going to talk about that too today. So I have a vast array of subject matter. Talking about taking the plunge, did anyone catch a big, wonderful surprise last night? Oh, you don't know? Okay, in case you didn't know, dear Patty, my dear sweet friend Patty, from the Life with Patty channel, she went on the air live last night. I want to talk to you a minute about taking the plunge in life. You know, sometimes all of us wait for the perfect circumstances, okay? For when you feel like the optimal best, fitting a certain description, your hair has to be just so, or whatever, or it has to be whatever. This is the mistake that a lot of YouTubers make, okay? Thinking they have to wait for perfection before they slam the record button. But I want to commend you, Patty, because you had to be ready, just like myself, because even Steve had to throw me out the helicopter window to get on YouTube in the first place, in general, okay? But I would like to personally commend you and let everyone know to please, if you missed her live last night, to head over to a channel because you could get it on playback. And in my opinion, it was just such a wonderful moment. It was one of those like surprise gems of the day. And that is precisely what happened last night. Let me tell you something. This may come as a surprise to some people, but in my opinion, just my opinion, one gal's opinion from New York City, it takes a lot of guts to slam the live button. What? It does. It takes a lot of guts, okay? But you have to crawl before you walk. Because in addition to that, it takes a lot of guts to slam that first record button when you're learning how to make a video, okay? Everything is a step-by-step process. We're not like born this way. I wasn't born making live videos. No, everything was a step-by-step process. You could go back to my first video. I look back at it, I don't laugh. I think it was actually not the worst first video I've ever seen, not because it's me, because I've seen different first videos. And I said, well, actually, for a first video, it wasn't that bad. So if you ever want to go back to the histrionics, I could probably hook that up. I will hook that up in the description box in case you're interested, along with Patty's live show. Did you think it was simple, for example, for Debbie or for Steve to slam the first live button by themselves or whatever? No, it's not. It's not. But everybody did it. I'm so glad that everybody did, because wonderful folks like them and you, quite possibly, this is why every once in a while I'm going to encourage that person that wants to become a tuber. Well, that's what I call them. I'm a little lazy, so I call them tubers, okay? That person that wants to become a tuber, what's stopping you? What, making a mistake? Who cares? I get on here. If I make a mistake, you don't know what I did on Steve's show yesterday. If you, I made a really big blunder on Steve's show, and I laughed it off, and so did he. I want you to get, what are you guys used to me doing when I can't see something? I get what? My trusty reading glasses, right? That makes sense. Can't see it, want to read it? Get your reading glasses, right? Do you know what this person named Jan from New York City did? I ran and I got my sunglasses. Oh, that's really going to help. And I did that live. I laughed so hard. I could have laughed louder. I could have gone down into tears for that one. But I didn't want to steal Steve's thunder because I was on his show. Okay? When you're a guest on someone's show, you should never steal their thunder. That's my opinion. That's their show. But that's another broadcast. I can get it. You know what? I think I should do a show about that. In my opinion, things that could go a little better on lives. Not that I'm an expert on lives, okay? I might be an expert on yakking. Let me get right over to the comment section. We have a lot to go over today. I might run 5 or 6 minutes longer. I hope you don't mind. But if you have things to do, pause it, come back to it later. That's what we're here for. Let me get over to the comment section. And by the way, like I said, I'm coming to you from my tablet and not my phone, because my tablet is on somewhat of a tripod. Okay, hang on. Let's see who's here. Good morning, Adam. How are you? Hope you're having a nice weekend. Good morning, Doug. How are you today? Yeah. Yes, I am certainly always ready for you with your list. You guys are wonderful. Good morning, Sharon. How are you? Got your coffee? Good morning, Steve. How you doing? Yeah. You wear your sunglasses at night, a little 80s flashback. Oh, I'll have to poke that one up. Anyway, that was a song. But I mean, being on Steve's show and grabbing my sunglasses to read better with, you have to go back to that video to see. I mean, listen, everybody makes mistakes, okay? That's why that should never hold anybody back from coming on live. So you make a mistake, so what? Now, here's something that is like sort of a test, okay? Because I want to tell you a very important story. I think it's cute. One of the subscribers, good morning, Tina. If you're listening to this, I want to make sure I don't get a backlash. It was kind of too long for me to recopy, so I want to do it on my trusty phone. You got to hear this story. This is called improvising, and guess what the star of the show of this improvisation was? You're going to love me for this one. So Tina writes, hey, Jan, I haven't been online for a while. Between you and Dawn, I have hours of unplayed vids to watch. I'll come back on here and watch this vid at some point because the topic caught my attention. But I got on here just to tell you a really funny story. That's why I'm sharing it. It is funny, but it's great. I purchased bananas earlier in the week because I wanted to make banana bread, and I knew the timing would be right to bake on Saturday. After running all of my errands on Saturday, including grocery shopping, I came home and was ready to bake. That's when I realized I only had 1.5 cups of self-rising flour, and I needed 3 cups for the recipe. I was sure I had self-rising flour, but it seems I did not. And to Google and quickly find out I can make my own, except I do not have baking powder. Darn. So I flashback to all of my pancake mix recipes and think Jan would use pancake mix. Now, why would she think that? So I use 1.5 cups of self-rising flour and 1.5 cups of pancake mix. Well, let me tell you, it came out pretty good. Am I surprised? No. It's slightly tougher. That you might have overmixed it. I meant to tell you that. Don't ever overmix when you make a batter. That can make a tougher bread, okay, or cake. Well, let me tell you, it came out pretty good. It's slightly tougher, and it didn't rise as much. It didn't rise as much, but the flavor is good. So that's a win. It gets better, this story. Keep your ears open. Okay, so look, Uh, let me find that point. Okay. So she went back to pancake mix, slightly tougher. So that's a win. Fast forward to this afternoon. Now you're going to love this one. Do you remember where I told you I keep my stockpiled canned goods? And yes, yes, I did, Tina. I remembered it. I remember almost everything you guys tell me. Just saying, just saying. Do you remember where I told you I keep my stockpiled canned goods? If not, I'll refresh your memory. So she put dot, dot, dot. Then she writes, under my sofa in the living room. Well, I went under the sofa to get a can of salmon to make salmon patties for dinner. And what do you think I found there? If you said self-rising flour, you're right. Anyway, I thought that was too darn funny to keep the smiles to myself. I'll check in soon, my friend. Out of the mouths of babes and out of the mouths of commenters and loyal subscribers and community members of Jan Clan. You guys are just too much. Doug. Pockets and backpacks, fireproof boxes, such as the guy you used to be able to buy at that store with a little key lock. If you're ever at a motel, you could hide your money. Oh, okay. Oh, this is what you meant by list. Okay. Ooh, I'm going to come back to these comments momentarily. Okay, Doug, on that. So want to keep. How do you like that story? You see, this was a situation of improvising, being extraordinary on an ordinary day, taking a not much and making it something. At the end of the day, she found self-rising flour where? In her stockpile. What does that show you? Never forget to shop your stockpile first if you're in a bind like that, okay? And isn't it wonderful that she had that stockpile in the first place? And isn't it wonderful she knew where to run under the sofa? She didn't have to even look it up in a notebook. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, Doug, I promise you I'm going to get to these specific comments that you're so kind to write down. I appreciate. What does a teddy bear have to do with a credit card? And by the way, after all this information, please, let's raise our cup of cheer. There you go. Did you have your coffee yet? I hope I'm not overwhelming you first thing in the morning. You're used to it. Probably anyway, 99% of you catch me on replay, which is fine. I don't care. I love it. Anyway, wow, that's very, very good. Here's what a teddy bear could possibly have to do with a credit card. You know, I did some research about these things, about hiding cash and stuff like that. Not for being a deceptive person. We are not deceptive people. There are times you have to keep some cash. You should always keep some cash in your home in case of emergencies. Now, what I read from the experts yesterday kind of like shocked me. They said you should have a different kind of emergency fund for, as they call it, a quote, national emergency. That sounds so official and it sounds so broad, but I think I know what he meant. The person meant that wrote it, okay? Making a long story short, let's put it this way. If Mother Nature, of which we have zero control over, okay, shuts down electricity beyond 3-4 days, that could affect your banking. That could affect your store purchases. And if we constantly rely on good old plastic, which let's face it, 98% of us do, all of us pretty much do, okay? You have to have that 2% of good old fashioned cash laying around, but not just laying around to get lost, okay? Put it specifically on the side. They even call it a national emergency fund. I don't kind of like that. It just sounds too severe. Maybe a better name. Maybe somebody could come up with a better name, because they don't want it confused with, let's say, your regular emergency fund, the one that you do officially put away physically from you, out of sight, out of mind. Know what I'm trying to say? Wow, now I know what you mean by list. Doug is on a roll. Doug is on a roll. So, okay, if the power fails for an extenuated period, okay, but you need to go to the store and buy some groceries because you didn't have a big stockpile, which we're all working on, all of us, including me, okay? You may not be able to pay for things because of no banking ability. Card can't work, no power, can't read anything. It's like useless at that moment. That powerful card can be rendered useless. What's that got to do with a teddy bear? Well, you could take any old plush toy and you could sort of make a little space, some toy that doesn't matter to you sentimentally, okay? Like that, like a plush toy that only you and only you know about, and only you put away, far from some person that'll go, oh, what a cute bear kind of thing. No, 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 no. No, no, no. And then you take, what do you call that? Freezer bags. Roll that thing up, stick it in the freezer bag, stick it inside that toy unit, and sew them up. You know right away where that thing is, okay? Because in times of an emergency, you don't want to be flubbering around all over the place. That's just like a homemade safe. Now, you might ask, what is the key number to work with? They're encouraging people to save about 1,000 to 2,000 on that one. But it also starts off that article saying that at least you better have provisions, financial provisions for about 5 to 7 days worth. I think more realistically that everyone could at least start with that. Wow. What? Who was kicked out? You aren't kicked out. Oh, what happened here? Oh, Doug, you are kicked out. I don't know what's going on technically here. No, I'm still running live. Okay, so Doug, now we get back to you with your wonderful list. So Doug has, okay, well, here goes. Old shirt pockets, boxes of cards, such as Christmas cards, candy tins, empty coffee creamer, cans, medical bottles or medicine bottles for my change first aid kits. Wonderful. Next, and thank you for taking that time. Pockets in backpacks, fireproof boxes, such as the guy that I mentioned earlier. Next, Doug goes on to the bottom of dresser drawers. Excellent tips here. You can also take metal cans, such as coffee cans, and bury them in your backyard, someplace where you can find it, but others can't. And on the back side of pictures. I have heard about the backyard thing. Are you sure, Doug, that one's okay? I mean, I don't know. I used to have a backyard. I don't have a backyard now, but are you sure, like, as far as like weather goes, like what can we do to weatherproof that? Because that is a factor, you know? Okay. That are in picture frames, you're done. You guessed you were kicked out, so bye. No, you were not kicked out. Anyway, but thank you so much. We really appreciate your tips. So much to go over. Okay, so that's where a teddy bear can rescue you. It's amazing. Let's see. Okay, there you go. Places to hide emergency cash. Okay. We talked about stockpiling last week, which we did. And then last Friday, we spoke about non-food emergency stockpile. And today we're talking about saving a small amount of cash, right? Because I mean, I don't think realistically that everyone has the immediate ability at this moment, at this particular juncture, of saving 1,000 to 2,000 for an additional emergency fund type thing. But these are issues to think about. And in addition, I am so happy about folks that take the plunge. Doing on an ordinary day, taking an extraordinary step. I am so beyond proud again of Patty. I'm so beyond proud of so many people. Oh, another thing, and I want to thank you, Pat, for this comment. This one I was able to jot some keynotes to. So Pat indicated on a comment, do not keep large bills, denominations of cash to save for emergencies. $1, $5, $10, not larger. Why? Because grocery stores may not have the change for larger bills. You may want, for example, to go in there and buy, let's say, I mean, if it were me, if I was already there, I'd get a couple of things, but everyone's different. But you may not have the ability, or maybe you just need only two things. If you have a $50 bill, that place is going to be inclined to not have the change for you. Therefore, you need to be ready. That was an excellent comment, Pat. Thank you very much. That is, something to think about. So anyway, National Emergency Fund, which I would like to change that name. Could somebody here come up with another name for that while I have your attention here? Oh. Okay, good morning, country darling. How are you? Good morning, Lee. How are you? Okay, Lee says, I think no matter where you hide your cash, you should tell one person. You know something, Lee? One person, I agree. I do. One trusted person. Okay? And if you live alone, many do. Let me get more coffee. If you live alone, many do, and you have a tendency to forget things, write it down. Get that special notebook. Country darling, look at this one. Look at this tip. If your curtains have a wide hem, make a little slit in there and hide the cash. Woo! But don't forget about that on your wash day or dry cleaning day, right? Right. Okay, that's really, really good. Okay, so interesting places in a minute. Well, we're going into it now. Best place in a fireproof box, according to financial experts, at the very least, have 5 to 7 days worth of living expenses. But the aim, according to them, is to have about $1,000 to $2,000 in actual cash. You must always keep emergency cash on hand at your disposal at all times. When you can't gain access to your funds electronically, you need to have cash for gas or emergency lodging or groceries. Good morning, Eileen. How are you? I miss you. I haven't seen you in a little bit. Everything good? All good? Hey, Doug, welcome back. The backyard thing, let me put you a comment. The backyard thing made one of my cousins a wealthy man after his dad died because he was the only one who knew where the cans were. Okay, so there is actually a formula to safely do in the backyard. I mean, of course, you can't just say, I'm just going to take a few bills and just throw it in the soil. You better have a better plan. By the way, it was every third fence. You are so freaking frapping smart. Hey, Eileen, all those purple hearts. I love you too. Okay, you guys rock. You make my day. Really. You guys, everybody here is just so good. Really. God bless all of you. So, okay, now the fun part as well. It's what I wrote here. Okay, how about a book? How about a textbook? If you live in the kind of place, oh, by the way, country darling, if you craft, you have a zillion places to hide cash. Thank you for that. That's very true. Let's say an old textbook that more than likely no one is interested in, okay? Only you know about it, and maybe that one trusted person, fine. Who's to stop you from putting your cash in a bag and putting it flat against the page of a book, close the book, put it away. You know the book, you know the location, put it on a higher shelf or whatever that is bound that nobody's going to even consider it. So just say it. It's a thought, right? It's a thought. Ziploc bags, Sharon, thank you for that suggestion that in general, Ziploc bags, for example, a person can put some cash, a little bit in a Ziploc bag, wrap it up and keep it where? Those big canisters of rice. Did I actually say this? A person can actually put that bag, which is clean, a nice clean Ziploc bag, so it's not like you're infecting your food or anything. It's all clean. Put it way, way under the rice stockpile. And only you and the trusted person know that, okay? These are things I've come across. These are actually smart ideas, okay? And I'm not giving burglars lesson 101. We're talking about if there's an emergency and you're, like the ATM shut down, you have to run and get that $40 or whatever, okay? I'm just saying. Eileen Lester, she says LMAOOO, what cash? That's right. Who's got cash? Hollowed out book. There you go. See, you guys, the wheels are turning, and it's only Monday morning. Imagine that. Maybe you have really good coffee. Could be. Okay, the teddy bear, I mentioned that. Soup can or any can, okay? Any can. You could take like, let me get the can. No, I'm not going to play kick the can. I'm too old for that. Let's see. All right. Let's say this chili can, okay, for example, which, by the way, was part of my stockpile. Okay, let's suppose, see, in this case, I opened the top because I was, going to eat it, all right? But wouldn't it be smarter to cut out the bottom? Leave the top intact, but find a way to seal up the bottom. Put your cash there, okay? Country darling, you like to hide cash in plain sight, like under a basket, under a mat, on an end table or dresser, battery compartment of your radio. Hey, whoever dumped it at, you did. Or other electronics. That's very cool. That is very cool. And I don't mean to be rude like to the male population, but a female can use one of those boxes of feminine hygiene useful products and maybe consider that, because most people won't touch those with a 20-foot pole. So just saying. Just saying. All right. Inside picture frames, our smart Doug has indicated. Thank you. And of course, in a canister of rice, like I mentioned, rice or beans. You guys rock. You really, really do. So let me just take a minute before I go today. Again, I want to commend Patty for going live. This is like the shape of wonderful things to come. Thank you for doing that. I say thank you. Why do I say thank you? I say thank you because I was a little bit of a pest. I kept saying to Patty, when are you going to go live? Why don't you go live? You should go live. Everybody loves you. Go live. Go live. She probably like heard me to ad nauseum, like, Janet, like, shush. So Patty did it in her own way and in her own timing, but I encouraged it because I know she's good. I could pick out a winner a mile away as far as broadcasting, as far as giving messages, as far as personality. I know I could. Debbie, winner. Winner. Debbie from the How Debbie Saves channel. Winner. Steve, winner. Plethora of information. You know how to execute. You're kind. You're courteous. You're good to your guests. Anybody that has a guest on their show live, let me just tell you something. If you're embarking on the thought, be very considerate of the guest. Let them talk. Give them their space. That's just a rule of thumb. Just saying, just passing on a little wealth of knowledge. You guys rock. Well, listen, I hope everybody has an amazing day. I hope you didn't mind. I did run about 5 or 6 minutes over, and I came to you from my tablet. But you know something? I might just stick to it because I was able to read that long, wonderful, funny, but useful comment. Okay? Listen, take this day. Make it an extraordinary day in your personal life. Do something unique. Even if it's, well, figuring out a place to hide some emergency cash. Just saying, just saying. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And I look forward to seeing everybody again. And Eileen Lester says, have a blessed day to all. And I agree with you. Have a wonderful day. There goes Country Darling. Have a good day. I will see you with the help of goodness on Wednesday. Have an amazing day, everybody. And I'll see everybody again when? Real soon. Have a great day. Thank you, Doug.